Naya Bingi, original, yaga yaga yo. You know what? I was thinking about something that happened to me recently. So this artist, this DJ, he messaged me around New Year's. He's like, "Yo, I was on your page. I heard this album that I hadn't heard of yours before. Can you send me the tracks?" Now this album, I think it was one of these that I didn't make. It was like I didn't make many of them, so it was like maybe $20, £20 to buy. He was like, "Yeah, send it to me." So I sent it to him. Maybe a couple days after he emailed me. Now, after like 2 or 3 days, I think the email link expired. So I go on there and say, okay, he emailed, he asked me for the favor, I've done it, and he's not downloaded it. That's interesting. The guy starts liking my posts on Instagram, and then a few days later, he's like, "Oh, I was traveling that time. I wasn't around. Can you send me the album again?" I responded to him, "No." Like, no, I'm not sending it. In not so many words. Like, if a lot of these characters know what they're doing. If I ask you for something and I don't do it, I don't follow through, I miss it, I will just buy it. Otherwise, when I ask for it, I'll be looking out for it, so I won't miss it because I've asked it. But the thing about these it didn't feel like he was trying to put me down, or it didn't feel like he was trying to make a point, but it was I think it's like the entitlement side. This was more the entitlement side, like where, okay, one, you're doing it for me for free because he's another artist, and he said he would send me stuff of his, which I didn't ask for any of his stuff, but he was like, "Oh, if you want any of my stuff, let me know, I'll send it to you." But I didn't. So the entitlement, which is like, "Oh, send me something," so I don't mind. All right, I'll send it. But can you imagine to expect you to double send? So it's just almost like you text somebody or you message someone, or you send it by pigeon and they get it and they miss it, and you have to now send again on top of the one you already sent. Like what is that? So guys, just say no. This is something you need to actually practice when you're on this walk because of the past of a lot of our upbringing. So yeah, just say no. And I was thinking about yesterday's video, and a specific teacher came to mind when I was in my college days. There was a teacher who I liked a lot. He was from the random place part of the world where my parents are from, and this teacher we became close. He would use my work as an example. And one time somebody stole something that I had made, and this is when it all started, when the people in my group in the class started turning on me. And he was like, "It's all right, just make it again." But you know when you're young guy, you're doing these things, it's like things, they seem bigger than they are. So I was really upset that someone had stole this piece of this metal piece that I'd made. And he was like, "Oh, don't worry." But this teacher went from being like one of my closest pals to actually despising me. And at the end of the course, there was a specific module that you need to do, which is like quite pivotal module, which would make the qualification complete, and without it, it's difficult to get a job. And out of nowhere, he told me, "Oh, this course doesn't include that module." Now, I could be wrong on this because I haven't double checked, but I believe he booked everybody in, but he took me out. So I didn't take that exam. And now when sometimes I'm looking for work, they will ask me specifically about that module. Oh, do you have blah, 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 number, blah, blah, blah. So this is like a delay / sabotage tactic of this man. So he's put that in my way. Now I can go ahead and do the module myself, but the cost is a lot higher than what it would have been if I had done it with them, if that makes sense. So these are the sort of things they do. So be aware of it. But when he even told me, oh, we don't do that module, after we had spent a year revising and getting ready for that module, you just sort of take that word for it. Oh, he's the teacher knows. But actually, it's not a thing where you have to listen to them. You could have checked yourself. You could have gone to another teacher. So basically what I'm saying is, again, he was in a position of authority being the teacher of that course. So you end up listening. What I'm saying is his rejection of me, his attack of me, if you want to put it that way, he's all that he was doing to me was to prevent me or to hurt me in some way, shape or form. And it was just another spiritual attack. It was just another, whether he know it knowingly or unknowingly, it was just another attack. And what is you could see as a little bit funny about this situation is, even though he was a teacher in this college, he was also a pastor. So these people who are in the church and they claim that they're pastors and they're giving these sermons about, Christianity, yet behind closed doors, they work in the opposite. And he used to talk about his family as well, how his wife was no longer with him and she had taken all the children away. And that's what the women always do. Because I think at some point I spoke about my family situation. I told him how, when my dad passed away, we had all sort of sided with my mother. And he was like, yeah, it's the same with him. None of the children deal with him. But the reason they don't deal with him, like a lot of these, I think they're called what baby boomer parents, a lot of them are narcopaths. They really believe in the matrix. They all sort of bring up their children to be supply. So all the children they have are there to serve them. The children are there to, look like a badge of honor to them, so they can show off to their friends and say, this is my son or my daughter. Look at what they've achieved. Look at how successful they are. Look at what I've done. When I retire, these are the people that are going to pay for my retirement. I'm the one that raised them. I want the credit. Blah, blah, blah. Well, in the end, he was betrayed by his family abroad in terms of removing assets from that side of the family, or from our side of the family, or from him, just to continue their own sort of financial gain. So in the end, these narcopaths, they end up alone. They end up being actually thrown out. It's like a game with a lot of these people. They abuse, manipulate, steal, do all these things, and in the end, they end up getting with people that are like them, or their own kids, or whoever does exactly the same thing to them. They end up just stealing from them, taking all their energy, manipulating them, and they leave them literally by themselves after everything has left them. So it's a very common story. I was just also watching a video about a celebrity narcopath who claims that they have cancer. So a lot of these characters, they end up sick. They end up with these life-altering illnesses. Sometimes they end up, just literally run down. All this running around town, getting supply, all this cheating on people. They get these STDs that you can't repair. They end up, incurable diseases, these death sentences. That's literally how their life ends. So be careful. Another line I took from another YouTuber video, she said, sometimes your ego will have you crying over a closed door and there's no one behind it. Let me say that one again for the people at the back. She said, sometimes our ego will have us crying over a closed door where there's no one behind it. So always don't take rejection too personally. Don't identify too much with rejection. Take it as redirection. A lot of the time, your peace is actually more important. Where you're not wanted is somewhere you're not supposed to be. Most High will not make it easy for you to be somewhere you're not wanted. So don't fight the funk. Don't fight the funk. All right.